This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. JDF says it is cooperating with a probe into injury of civilian in Denham Town. The Jamaica Defense Force says it is fully cooperating with investigations into the injury of a civilian in Denham Town, Kingston yesterday. In a statement, the JDF did not provide details of the incident, which comes days after the fatal shooting of another resident under controversial circumstances. Thursday's incident happened in the zone of special operations in Denham Town. The JDF also said it is carrying out its own internal investigations. As this matter may become litigious, we will not make any further comments at this time, so as not to compromise or prejudice either the external or internal investigations, said a JDF spokesperson in a statement. The Army said over the past 5 years, it has served Denham Town through the Zozo, and it remains committed to continuing this service. It is asking residents to cooperate with the JDF and to provide information relating to this or any other matter by calling the JDF tip line at 876-837-8888. Businessman and the secretary shot in Discovery Bay. A businessman and his secretary were shot and wounded by two gunmen traveling on a motorbike in Discovery Bay, St. Anne on Thursday. The gunmen, riding a motorcycle, struck at the high-tech garage about 1:30 p.m. The pillion reportedly entered the facility and inquired about bike parts. He then went back to speak to the driver of the motorbike before returning and opening fire on both persons. The businessman was shot several times while his secretary received injuries to her back. They were both admitted to a hospital in serious condition. 9 spent casings were found at the scene. According to police statistics, from January 1 to April 15, St. Anne recorded 12 shootings, resulting in 9 injuries. Licensing requirements for public passenger vehicles to be revised. The Transport Authority will be revising the requirements for the licensing of public passenger vehicles, according to Minister of Transport and Mining Audley Shaw. Shaw said that the change is to ensure better screening and assessment of driving capabilities, adding that he has started discussions with the TA and the Island Traffic Authority to see this through. The transport sector is a critical one, and our operators must perform with the utmost integrity and provide quality service, the minister said, while delivering the keynote address at the recent 5th anniversary celebration of the 876 on-the-go taxi service held at the University of Technology in St. Andrew. He urged the company to continue to empower their drivers so that the taxi business becomes professionalized, profitable, and sustainable, with stakeholders benefiting in the total value chain of the industry and with passengers at the epicenter of the business. The minister said the Road Safety Unit in the ministry is conducting sessions in schools to encourage a culture of good driving practice, and the visits and other activities by the RSU are to educate people on the importance of road safety. He also highlighted that the ministry is moving ahead with several other initiatives to make the traffic environment safer and will be going forward with plans to offer rewards and incentives to not only acknowledge those who have been exemplary leaders in the sector, but to encourage others to do good and do what is right. The minister said companies like 876 on-the-go taxi service must be commended for inculcating safety at all levels, which is demonstrated on the roads by their drivers. Man crashes stolen car in Manchester. The police in Manchester are on the hunt for a man who yesterday crashed a stolen motor car along the Melrose bypass. According to the police, the wrecked car was found abandoned along the roadway around midday. The police said they could not immediately confirm the circumstances surrounding how the vehicle was stolen. However, the owner was able to identify the vehicle at the scene. Prosecutors to call cops for questionable JP letters. Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn says that she has instructed the members of her office to contact the authorities if they receive letters that are purported to have been witnessed by justices of the peace for the purpose of recanting witness testimonies. According to Llewellyn, her office has received reports of such letters being submitted to prosecutors, including in instances where evidence has already been provided by the affected witnesses. She was speaking on Thursday at the commissioning ceremony for 48 JPs for St. James, which was held at the Montego Bay Convention Center in Rose Hall, St. James. We have noticed several instances over the last year or two where my Crown counsels are ready to prosecute a case. The witnesses are supposed to be there, and the defense attorney is saying, "Have you spoken to your main witness?" Well, I have a letter which was witnessed by a JP where the witness is now saying that what he told the police in his original statement did not happen, said Llewellyn. When they ask, "How did you come by this and who is the JP?" they get a copy of the letter handed to them. I have directed my staff that whenever that happens, they are to immediately call the police authorities and have everybody investigated for possibly attempting to pervert the course of justice, Llewellyn added. She was speaking on the heels of a news investigative series that revealed that some JPs across multiple parishes have been charging fees for their services and lying in letters of recommendation they write for complete strangers. It is understood that one JP has since surrendered his seal of office and resigned his post following investigations by the Ministry of Justice. Llewellyn declared that any JP who is found to be acting contrary to the stipulations of their office will face the full force of the law. There is no JP who, once the evidence is there for an offense like attempting to pervert the course of justice, who is not going to get that indictment. The higher up you go, you are supposed to know better, said Llewellyn. Meanwhile, speaking to the news following the function, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck maintained his stance that the office of a JP is a voluntary service for which holders should not be paid. There is no question about the paying of JPs to identify persons, to witness documents, or do recommendations, because if you do that, you would definitely encourage more corruption. Any JP would then be able to set up an office and say, "I can identify you. I will give you recommendations even without knowing who the persons are," said Chuck. We have a real challenge emphasizing to JPs that they must not charge at all. There is no doubt that a number of JPs go beyond the call of duty and do incur expenses, but that is a part of voluntarism, Chuck added. The Justice of the Peace Act requires holders of the office to provide their services free of charge. Alleged Rancor Gang Leader remanded. Alleged leader of the Rancor Gang, Constable Tafari Silvera, who is accused of hiring 2 hitmen to murder a police informant, was yesterday further remanded in the Clarendon Home Circuit for a plea and a case management hearing. Civilians Christopher Robinson and Mark Bennett, who are both from Cockburn Gardens in Kingston and who are jointly charged in the matter, were also remanded on a charge of conspiracy to murder. They are to return to court on July 29. The police constable was arrested last June while on duty at the Hunts Bay police station in St. Andrew and charged following allegations that he had contracted 2 men to kill the Clarendon man. Yesterday, when the matter was mentioned, the court was informed that while the case file has been completed, disclosure was to be made to the defense. The court was also told that the case in question connects to a gang investigation and that there is a possibility that the matters will be joined. Hence, a further plea and a case management date was fixed. In the meantime, Silvera is among 4 police constables who have been charged in the gang matter and is expected to go before the court next week. 4 policemen who were identified as alleged members of the Clarendon-based 27-member gang were arrested in March, but one was released after the witnesses against him refused to participate in an identification parade. 8 policemen are said to be involved in the gang, including one who fled the island when Silvera was arrested last June. The Rancor Gang, which has been linked to 17 incidents, is alleged to have carried out shootings, burglary, robbery with aggravation, illegal possession of a firearm, shop breaking, conspiracy to murder and abductions in Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, St. Catherine, St. Mary, Trelawney, Kingston, St. Andrew and St. James between 2019 and 2021. No breakthrough in killing of man at St. Best party, says cops. Police have come up empty-handed in their investigations into the killing of a man and the injuring of 2 others at a party in Cottage, Newmarket, St. Elizabeth 2 weeks ago. Preliminary investigations pointed to lottery scamming being behind the early morning attack. The dead man was identified as Devereux Durant, a 28-year-old farmer from Braes River in the parish. The injured persons are 20 and 28. The commanding officer for the St. Elizabeth Police Division, Superintendent Dwight Daly, said that investigators have not yet made a breakthrough into the case. "We are still conducting our investigations," Superintendent Daly told the news. "We are asking people with information about this case to come forward." He said anyone with information can contact them at 876-965-2232, 119-311, or the nearest police station. Reports were that about 1:40 a.m., while the party for which a permit was granted was in full swing, Durant and another man was in his car when gunmen approached. Police said the men opened fire, killing Durant and injuring the 20-year-old. The other man who was standing near the car was hit. He was not with Durant and the other man. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.